In the headlines, abductors of Abuja-Kaduna train passengers release new video. Court remands Rochas Okorocha in EFCC custody over alleged 2.9 billion naira fraud. NCDC confirms 66 suspected monkeypox cases, 1 death. And on the foreign scene, landslides and floods kill dozens in northeast Brazil. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. And now the news in full. One of the terrorists who captured passengers of the Abuja-Kaduna train has released a new video where 8 of the victims, 3 women and 5 men, are appealing to the federal government for help. According to Daily Trust, the masked terrorists who spoke in English said they gave their victims a chance to speak to the government and it is left for the government to listen or turn the other way. Some of the victims spoke about the conditions under which they are being kept.
Alhamdulillah wa'ada, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'd. We are the people that captured those people in the train along Abuja and Kaduna road. So they are appealing to us saying that they wanted to talk to the government. So we give them chance to talk to the federal government. It's left for you to listen to them or abandon them.
My name is Mariama Abubakar Bobo. I was one of those captured on that train with 4 of my children and my husband. We're appealing to the federal government and our families and everyone that can to please come to our aid. We've been here for 62 days in an unfavorable, inhabitable condition, unimaginable. We've been sick. In fact, one of my sons, 2 of them are even sick at the moment with no medical supply. So we're pleading with you to please come to our aid. Yes.
My name is Sadiq Ango Abdullahi, one of the captives of the Abuja-Kaduna train attacks. We are appealing to the federal government to once again come to our aid. We've been here for 62 days. Most of us here are sick and we are not in good condition. And every day the situation gets deteriorating. We are appealing to the federal government to please come to our aid before we start losing our lives.
My name is Gladys Emore. I'm appealing particularly to Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, who was my classmate, 78, 79 law school. You are a grandfather, you are a father. Come to our aid because we've been here for 62 days. I have a son who is a sickler and I don't know his condition. I'm pleading that the federal government and Amechi, who is the minister for transportation, should come to our assistance. I'm pleading. We are all sick. Right now I'm even sick too. But the harrowing experience I have for my son who is a sickler, I don't know his condition. I'm just pleading with you, federal government. Please.
My name is Emmanuel Emso.
Relatives of the victims have made repeated calls for their release. The federal government promised to intervene, but nothing has been done just yet. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has emphasized the need for peaceful coexistence among people in the state. The governor stated this during an on-the-spot visit and assessment of the damage caused by the recent unrest in Yelwa community, Bauchi State. Adamu Imam has details.
Governor Mohammed, who visited the warring communities of Lukshi and Ungwan-Tsakani, all in Yelwa area, a suburb from Bauchi metropolis, assured that the state government will bear the cost of damage recorded and call for peace from both parties.
We will make sure justice is done to whoever perpetuates this. And as an interim measure, we will be sending SEMA to take valuation of the losses incurred here. As a government, we will take responsibility. I learned that one of my brothers who has put his farm produce The commissioner told me everything is banned. Definitely will replace it. Please take care and be a policeman. It is not this policeman that will work for us. Each and every one of you is a policeman.
Earlier, the State Commissioner of Police, who told the governor that the crisis was not religious, but a result of misunderstanding between the youth in the area, which led to the loss of lives and properties, promised to take drastic measures to avert reoccurrence.
Everybody must please live in accordance to the law. I have sounded that warning yesterday. Today again, I'm taking this privilege with the permission of His Excellency that we are not going to condone any form of indiscipline in terms of taking the law into your hands. Nobody will be allowed to do that.
Trust TV also got the thought of some residents of the communities on the 24 hours curfew imposed in Yelwa area.
By living in peace, we get to develop ourselves. By living in peace, we get to move on and advance. We've seen the side effects of living in crises and problems. We've seen how people have lost their houses, innocent people. We've seen how people have lost their lives. We've seen how people have lost their resources, their farm resources and all of that. So I would want to call on our brothers, be it Muslims and Christians, let's stay together. Let's collectively live as one another.
We are not in our mood the way that we're supposed to be because of this, which is very hardship way that we found ourselves in it. But Alhamdulillah, since when we see the governor himself visit us here, we really appreciate and we agree that all what's promised to us may be reality, inshallah.
Bala also assured the community that very soon government will establish a new police station in the area to help restore law and order. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Barely a month after the explosion that killed some people at a beer parlor in Kaba, Kogi State, a similar incident has been recorded in the town. A place called Obafemi Bar at Okepadi axis of Kaba was hit on Sunday night. The cause of the incident and the nature of the explosion is yet to be fully established, but the Kogi State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Williams Aya, confirmed the incident, saying no casualty was recorded. Previously, it was filed that on May 11, explosion rocked a beer parlor at Lewu Junction, still in Kaba, killing 2 people. The police had attributed the incident to gas cylinders, but the victim's family members said it was a bomb explosion. A similar attack was also recorded in Taraba State last month. The Islamic State in West African province later claimed responsibility. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned presidential hopeful and former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, before Federal High Court in Abuja. The former governor is being tried on a 17-count charge to the tune of 2.9 billion naira filed against him by the anti-graft agency. He is accused of conspiring with others, including a member of the APC and 5 companies, to steal from the public coffers. Okorocha pleaded not guilty to the charges. The second defendant in the suit, Anyim Chinenye, as well as the 5 companies, also pleaded not guilty to the charges. Okorocha, who currently represents Imo West Senatorial District in the National Assembly, was arraigned before Justice Iang Ekwo on Monday in the nation's capital. Similarly, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested former Governor Abdulaziz Yari in connection with the agency's ongoing investigation of the suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris. Yari, a former governor of Zamfara State, was arrested on Sunday at his residence in Abuja, days after he won the ruling APC's ticket for Zamfara West senatorial election holding in 2023. The AGF, under criminal investigation, has been in the EFCC custody since May 16, facing investigators over allegations of corruption to the tune of 80 billion naira. According to Premium Times, investigators are working with the lead that the allegedly conspired with others to steal public funds, which by his role was meant to safeguard. According to the sources, suspicious transactions between Idris and Yari were in the tune of 20 billion naira. Former Governor of Zamfara State, Senator Ahmed Yarima, has described the call for zoning of the presidency to a particular region of the country a result of political ignorance. The senator, who stated this during a chat with members of the press on his intention to contest for the APC ticket to run for president, also added that the ignorance was also as a result of illiteracy, which is rife in the country. Yarima further explained that the law clearly states the requirements of an individual contesting any office in the land.
You can find some people who are educated as ignorant because either they don't know themselves or they don't know their society. I think to just give you one example of ignorance that we are facing today, this issue of zoning, I know you'll ask a question about it. There are sections in the constitution that shows the qualification required for anyone to aspire for any office, from a chairman of local government to state assembly, the governorship to senators, national assembly members, to the president office of the president. You just have to be a Nigerian and you have the basic qualification and the age required to contest for any office in this country. So I believe that it's ignorance, political ignorance, that people are all mischief makers. Because if you say, you start talking of zoning, zone to my zone to northeast, zone to southeast, tomorrow people will start talking of zoning to local governments.
Two political gladiators in Gombe State, Governor Inuwa Yahaya and Senator Danjuma Goje, have settled their political disputes, which created division among members of the All Progressives Congress in the state. Senator Goje, who won APC ticket for the Gombe Central Senatorial District, said the reconciliation has come to stay. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
This is a historic moment for Governor Inuwa and his former boss, ex-Governor Danjuma Goje, as they come together after a dispute that lasted for almost a year. The political tension triggered resignation of Goje's daughter, who was appointed by Governor Yahya as Environment Commissioner, but Senator Goje said they have now reconciled.
I also wish to particularly thank the leadership of our great party, the national leadership of our great party, the APC, under His Excellency, distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu to a kingpin.
Governor Yahya said he is very excited to reconnect with his former boss.
Ranar farin ciki, wannan tana ɗaya daga cikin ranakun da na fi farin ciki tunda Allah ya ɗora ni akan karagar mulki a
This is the most exciting day for me as the governor. In the past 3 days, no one think we will be together. Hypocrites have been fueling the crisis, but we thank Allah for making it possible to reconcile. For this reconciliation between Governor Yahya and Senator Goje, there were insinuations that Goje may defect to the People's Democratic Party (PDP), a report that he repeatedly denied. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Still in politics, governorship primary elections in the two major political parties has come and gone in Katsina State with the emergence of party flag bearers, but many residents express mixed feelings on how the process is monetized, leaving those without money to watch from the sidelines. For instance, aspirants had consultative meetings with delegates before the primaries, and monies were suspected to have been given in exchange for votes for candidates vying for elective positions. Abdullahi Yamadi has details.
At least delegates had a good moment with elective political office seekers, including serving lawmakers, after a very long time. During these meetings, delegates enjoy monetary inducements. The money in exchange for votes occasioned by the struggle to cross the hurdles of the primaries may not be new in the state. Political watchers say Monetization of political process this term is so appealing during the last primary election in the state.
The way and the manner and the level money was used during the present political arena is very dangerous to the polity, to the leadership, and to the economic situation of the country. Because using money in politics is just a clear indication that the leaders are just buying delegates.
It is very, very unfortunate that these things is happening in this country. This is seriously a threat to democracy. This is seriously threat to the emergence of a good leadership in both parties.
Observers said that the process should have allowed a level playing ground for all the aspirants, especially among the major political parties of APC and PDP.
So you see, the way and manner the form are being sold to aspirants, that show and door for corruption. Because if you win the election, the first thing you will do is to look for your money.
But beyond the issue of delegates, are the electorates happy with the process?
The politicians that uses money to achieve their aims. And this is it. And this is the problem that we are in Nigeria. It is because they want to perpetually be in power. That is why it's a system.
So far, APC have Dr. Dikko Umar Radda, the immediate past Director General, Small Medium Enterprises Development Agency's maiden, as its governorship candidate, while Senator Yakubu Lado Damarki emerged as the PDP governorship candidate. The two other political parties, NNPP and PRP, are yet to conduct primary election to produce candidates for the election. The electorate this time around want issues-based campaign instead of smear campaign to convince people to vote candidates of their choice. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
There seems to be no end to the upheavals that characterize the just concluded primaries of the All Progressives Congress in Taraba State. This was clearly demonstrated on Sunday when aggrieved aspirants for the position of the State House of Assembly kicked against the entire exercise. The aspirants, who claimed that the primaries did not take place in any of their constituencies, urged the National Secretariat of the party to, as a matter of urgency, do the needful in order to save the party from collapse in the state. The aspirants, who converged at the party state secretariat, told journalists that the committee assigned with the responsibility of conducting the exercise was not cited in the state.
Security agencies to brief them on our mission to Taraba State and met with the state leadership of the party. Today we met with all the aspirants of the party and the state working committee and have agreed on modalities for the conduct of the primaries.
What I have seen is that the committee have arrived and they have did all the necessary things. First thing, they visited the CP and went to DSS and they call us, the stakeholders, and they give us privilege to choose what mode of the election or what mode of the primaries that we want.
We are here to address the press and to tell the whole world concerning the issue of the worrisome issue bedeviling our party. And entirely, this worrisome issue may likely affect the outcome of the 2023 general election. However, we were meant to understand that there is a committee set up by the National Working Committee.
But the National Working Committee should know that election was not conducted. If they had sent a committee, the committee has not come down to Taraba.
You're watching Trust News Update. Still ahead. How family planning breaks home. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. Abductors of Abuja Kaduna train passengers release new video. We also heard that EFCC arraigns former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha over alleged 2.9 billion naira fraud. Moving to health, Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Sunday said 66 suspected cases of monkeypox had been reported in the country between January 1 and May 29. According to the agency, 21 of the suspected cases were confirmed in 9 states, while 1 death was recorded in a 40-year-old man with renal comorbidity and on immune suppressive drugs. The NCDC said it has activated the National Multisectoral Emergency Operations Center at Level 2 to continue to coordinate ongoing response activities. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has approved 2 herbal drugs for COVID-19 clinical trials. NAFDAC Director General Professor Mujishola Adeyeye, in a statement on Sunday, said 3 herbal formulations were approved for clinical trial studies during the COVID-19 pandemic. She said while 2 studies had commenced, including the IHP detox tea, the 3rd clinical trial study is yet to start. Meanwhile, Adeyeye denounced the claims of efficacy of IHP detox tea for the cure of COVID-19 patients purportedly made by the Chief Executive Officer of Bioresources Development and Conservation Program, Professor Maurice Iwu, in a national daily. She said it is worrisome that such unguided statement is made without the stated fact that no product can be approved by NAFDAC without satisfactory clinical evidence. Couples in northern Nigeria often have disagreements over family planning or child spacing due to religious or cultural factors. Trust TV brings to the fore the story of a 29-year-old housewife who boycotted her matrimonial home after her husband suggests family planning. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Shamsiya Yunusa is 29, married to Aminu Salisu. They had 8 children, but 3 died. Aminu wants his wife to adopt family planning for the sake of her health and that of the children, but she declined. Shamsiya used to give birth every year and her husband is worried.
I advised her. She even said that she didn't agree. I even go to her parents. She didn't accept it. I follow our traditional leaders how to advise her. She didn't accept it. That is where I started getting the problem with her. She even go back her whole house. She said that I didn't want her to born children, and I want maybe I will go and add another woman to get another children, but her I will leave her at home without getting children. That is how it starts. I try my possible best to tell her, because I convinced her a woman without education is just like a house without foundation. I say that if she allow herself sitting down at home, and when another woman come to the house that she's educated, she's going to take over the house. And women didn't want to see second wife at home. That is why she's convinced, and she said that she agreed.
After boycotting her husband's home to protest against family planning, Shamsiya had finally accepted after a series of pleas by her husband.
So it's because I want to have more spacing for the child, for the birth. Yes, it helped me to take care of my children, and it helped us. It helped me and my husband through our financial sources. So now we don't have, as I am doing planning, I don't have money problem.
The mother of 5 says after adopting family planning and subscribing to a 5-year child spacing procedure, she has witnessed improvement in her health and that of her last child, who now enjoys adequate attention. Shamsiya and her husband are now advocates of family planning in Gombe. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Wanted drug kingpin behind the 2,000.6 kilogram cannabis sativa seized in a concrete mixer truck in Adamawa State in 2021, Henry Chukwuneku Okamaru, has been arrested in Ondo State after 5 months of manhunt by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. 2 suspects, Matthew Donue and Friday Mbogu, were arrested in connection to the consignment last December. They had confessed that the concrete mixer truck with Lagos registration number SMK 890XB was loaded with the illicit drug in Ogbese, Ondo State, while they traveled for 2 months on the road before arriving at Adamawa, where they were eventually arrested by NDLEA operatives. The report
revealed that Okamaru is one of the leaders of a cannabis cultivation cartel that operates in the Ondo-Ekiti axis, while he shuttles between Osun, Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, and Delta State, from where he coordinates supplies of illicit consignments to northern parts of the country and Lagos State. Meanwhile, a 36-year-old Nigerian based in Italy, Nwakamma Michael Uche, has been arrested at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for ingesting pellets of heroin. Nwakamma was nabbed while trying to board Air France airline en route Abuja-Paris-Milan, Italy. He was thereafter kept under observation, during which he excreted 95 pellets of the illicit drug. Across 5 states of Edo, Kaduna, Kogi, Akwa Ibom, and Oyo, NDLEA operatives intensified their offensive action against drug cartels. In Edo, Thaddeus Uliagbafusi, aged 58, was arrested, while a total of 130,670 tablets of different controlled drugs, 1,396 ampoules of pentazocine injection, and 743 bottles of codeine were recovered from a secret location where the drugs are repackaged. In Akwa Ibom, a female drug dealer, Irene Emmanuel Bassi, was arrested during a search of her house at Ikpa Town, Esit Eket local government area, where 30.5 kilograms of cannabis was recovered, while one Muhyiddin Rasaki was nabbed with 90.8 kilograms of cannabis at Elere Bolowaji area of Ibadan Southeast local government area. While commending the officers and men of the agency for the series of arrests and seizures in the past week, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, in a release by the Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, charged them and their compatriots across the country not to relent in their offensive action against drug cartels and their kingpin.
And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.